How y'all doing? We're gonna go all over the place today. See where it ends up. I got kind of a crazy, funny story. I'll save it for the end, but it ties into where I'm gonna start on this. A lot of people, by all means, I'm a good old boy. I'm a big old corn-fed boy, and but I grew up in what you would call near or in the hood, whatever you want to say. Majority of my friends growing up were black, and the reality, a lot of people may have misconstrued things I've said, or may think that like I'm homophobic, and you couldn't be further from the truth. My favorite aunt in the whole world, Ariana, she's an attorney, or was an attorney in the Twin Cities. She's a lesbian. She was most eligible bachelor in the Twin Cities, or bachelorette in the Twin Cities in 2008. Then my Aunt Joanne, she still sits as a judge in the Twin Cities, St. Paul. When I was growing up, my family owned a bar called the Blue Saloon. It was on East St. Paul on Pennsylvania. And it then became a gay bar named Lucy's. And then my family also owned a bar on Minnehaha named Over the Rainbow. And so my favorite cousin, he's now deceased, and his partner's deceased. They passed away from HIV. And so the reality is I am not an enemy of the gay people.
Barely. I'm about half dead.
You got somebody right now that called in on a phone, and their phone signed into my car, and it's fucking retarded shit. That's what it is. Retarded shit. So anyways, so yeah. So now I'm going to shout out some of the people I know. Lucy's was bought out by a Hmong family that lives in the Twin Cities. And so shout out to the Hmong people. Olu Davis, I still fucks with you, bro. Then let's see. I've got Jackie, I fucks with you. Charlize and Charmaine, you had the most lit wedding I've ever been to. That shit was legendary. I'm pretty sure I fucked up my aunt's pontoon that day. I'm pretty sure I did about $10,000 worth of damage drunk as fuck driving that thing. And so, let's see. Who else we got? Jackie and Karen. Karen, I love you. I love you. If you're watching, I love you. So, I'm just kind of giving you guys an idea of the things that formulated me. As a kid, I grew up in street rods. I worked for a guy named Dave Kinnaman in the hot rod world. He's known as the Rod Doctor. And I grew up, my father befriended a famous guy that was one of the pioneers of salt flat racing. That's why I wear SoCal. His name was Kong Jackson. My dad befriended him. I got the whole top end of a Kong Jackson motor. Gene Winfield. I literally have been with my father to he and his wife's house. I've drank lemonade that came from lemons on their tree in their backyard out there in California. So I've been out to the LA Roadster show. I've spent time in San Diego. I've spent time all over the place. I used to, when I was younger, whenever school wasn't going on, my dad was a delegate for the unions, and he'd go, to various strikes and all kinds of shit. And so I'd travel all around with him when I was able to. And so that's why I've been to a lot of places in the United States, got roots kind of all over the place. And that's why I'm telling you, AOC, you just got to put me in. Put me in. I cross too many demographics. I ride I ride Harleys, man. I've been riding a Harley since I was 15 and a half. I still got the same Harley I was riding when I was 15 and a half. Mike from American Pickers, shout out. I did not know when I sold those old antique motorcycles, I did not know that behind the scenes you're the guy that sent that man to me. So I want to thank you. Shout out to Mike from American Pickers. Hope you and your daughter are doing good. Yeah. I want to have a positive message today. You know, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass, guys. We're way down here and we got to get way up here. The reality, though, is America's finest years are ahead. But we got to get there. We got to get there. We got to take back control of our country. And it's not as hard as you think. One of the most powerful words in the English lexicon is the word no. Just no. No, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to entertain that. No, we're not going to let you do that. No, we're not going to let you say that. No, we're not. And that's what we as the American people have to do. And it's not a matter of, oh, just one or two of us taking. No, we have to recognize the common interest here. This supersedes left and right. That's the truth of the matter. It supersedes left or right. It's a matter, we're dealing with matters of morality, truth be told. And morality doesn't care about left and right. Morality is simply right and wrong, good and bad, what is honorable, what is not honorable. And that's what we have to restore as a nation. That's what we have to decide. Who do we want to be as a nation? What do we want to project onto the world for them to see? And the reality is, if you want to be the leader of the free world, you've got to have a message of hope and love. And then you've got to have a society that's thriving. You can't have a society broken and disillusioned and disenfranchised. No, this shit supersedes left and right. It really does. And if you guys want to maintain some form of the power hegemony and influence over the sphere of the world, then you've got to make a conscious decision that this is who we are going to be as a people. This is what we are going to represent. And that's where it comes into play, being a nation of God. You know, and I say this because the reality is a lot of people, there's a stigma. They think, that's why I started with my ties kind of to the homosexual community or knowing a lot of gay people. And the reality is, God measures, fucking crazy, man. God measures fucking hearts, okay? I measure hearts. And the reality of it is that fucking, sorry, I gotta move my damn car so I stop getting people's fucking shit. Fucking up my flow, fucking up my ebb and flow right now. Fucking up my good juju. Don't have me in here fucking cussing up a storm. And so, anyhow, the reality is, God weighs hearts, man. I weigh hearts. And the reality is, the Bible tells you not to conduct yourselves in a certain manner, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to go to heaven. There's a whole lot of people sitting in church right now that when I go in there and weigh hearts, they got shriveled up, pruny fucking hearts. But if I go into a damn gay bar, they got hearts of love and abundance. So which one do you think God's going to show favor to? Who do you think's going in the halls of heaven? I mean, this isn't rocket science. I mean, this is, you know, who you're sharing your bedroom with isn't necessarily a reflection on your soul. It could be a reflection of the trauma that you've had happen in your life that may have swayed you into a certain lifestyle. But that doesn't mean that you lack an abundant heart, an abundant lifestyle, an abundance of love. And so that's why I kind of led there. And that's kind of how I feel about it. You know, I'm going to worry about what the hell goes on under my roof. I got my own fucking problems. You know what I'm saying? I got my own shit to deal with. I'm not going to worry about what the fuck's going on under their roof. I don't care. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't. In fact, if they ask me to come to their weddings, I'm going to come to their weddings because gay people have the most lit fucking weddings you'll ever go to. So if you're a homophobe, stop being a homophobe and go to a gay person's wedding. It's fucking lit. They get down. They're a whole different fucking breed. So, yeah. But with that, this isn't going to be a snap the fingers and shit's going to turn around. It's going to be an uphill battle. But the reality is, hold on to hope. Hold on to hope. This is temporary. These hard times are temporary. Yeah, they're not ideal, and it's going to get a little worse before it gets better. I'm not going to lie to you. But the reality is, we can walk out of this. We can walk out of this a stronger nation. We can walk out of this a more diverse nation. And we can maintain our influence. I think the best move, honestly, to go forward is to create a fast track program, which I believe Donald Trump announced, a quick visa program or something for the Gentiles, basically, that are abroad that are losing their country, which is A1. The reality is their Christian backgrounds, ideologically, they align with us. The problem is, like, we can bring in, and we should bring in, the Nigerians that are in Africa, or the Christian Nigerians, because they're Christians. They're going to come here and they're going to Americanize just fine. The problem herein lies, we have foreign influence that is funding the immigration of people that ideologically do not align with us. They are not Gentiles in any way, shape, or form. They do not worship the same God that America is based and founded upon. And so fundamentally, that is a problem. That is a problem. They have no desire to Americanize. Now, I shouldn't say this across the board. The reality is, the Muslim population that lives in Dearborn, there's two separate demographics that are there, and they're all being lumped into one and getting a bad deal. A lot of that Muslim demographic, they have Americanized, but they've held on to their culture. That's fine. America represents that. Many of them have been born here in America, so they're as American as you or I. And so the reality is, that demographic has Americanized. There's a new influx coming in that are naturally wanting to congregate to that area because there's other Muslims there. This demographic has no fucking desire to Americanize. They just don't. I'm not going to lie to you. They don't. There's demographics and populations all over the place. And that's kind of why I touched base on the Hmong. Lou Davis, I fucks with you. The reality is they've come here and they've Americanized. The Hmong population that you see in Minnesota is thriving. They've done it in fucking one generation. And so, but again, and you can see it again. I've seen when you go into Ohio, when you go to Kings Island, there's a massive population that's been brought in that's from the Ukraine. Well, hell, they might have an accent, but they fit right the fuck in. They're doing lines, taking tickets, getting people's pops, and living their best fucking American life. And so what we have to do is if we're going to let people in, we got to let the fucking people in that want to align with what the hell we got going on and what we're trying to do here. That's just common sense. You don't let somebody in that has no fucking desire to partake and buy into what the fuck you're selling. Who the fuck does that? Who the fuck thinks that's going to work out? It's crazy. It's crazy. And so these are some of the hurdles. Now, does that mean that we go arm up and we go to war? No. What we do, you have to create an environment that is not desirable to them. And that doesn't mean by being nasty and mean. For one, what you do is all things are won over by love and compassion first and foremost. And so the way you change the people that are willing to change is by demonstrating love and compassion to them. And in doing so, that alone can win over a lot of people to where they say, well, I'm not sure that I want what we're selling. And so that's first and foremost. The second thing is you create an environment where it's just flat ass known. Like, if you don't want to Americanize, you're not fucking welcome here. Why is America having to change to fit you fucks? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I don't care. I'll say it. Fuck out of here. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's just like Hispanics. ¿Cómo estás? Me llamo Juan. Y a ti, practicar de fútbol. I love fucking soccer. I love soccer. I fucks with you Hispanics tough. But the reality, the fucking Hispanics that come here, they're coming here to work their asses off and support families. Yeah, some of them might be working under the table or whatever, but the reality is they are contributing to fucking society in some regard. Now, I understand there's a lot more to that in dynamics. I'm not trying to debate that right now. I know what all the shit is. But my point is, they're coming here with a willingness to Americanize. By the time they have a firstborn, natural-born child, that child's going to go to they're going to college. They're going to get a fucking degree, go into the world and thrive. That's the fucking American dream. They're coming here to grab it. So, by all means, I'm not against none of those motherfuckers coming here. I'm not against any of the Hispanic population coming here. I'm a fucking fan of the Hispanic population. They get a lot of shit fucking right. That's the truth of it. When you talk about culturally, Americans are very secularized, and we're very isolated. We're different from a lot of the fucking world. When you go and look at your Asian countries, when you go and look at your Hispanic countries, there's a deep intrinsic understanding of what a family unit is. Like, they have multi-generational ties, and they eat together every fucking night, at least every weekend for sure. And there's a lot to be said for that closeness and that generational tie. We don't really have that in America. We're all about independent and self. And there's pluses to that too, and it's just the American way. But the reality is, in regard to family, I don't think that it's per se the right way. That's why when you look at, we got an epidemic of fucking what I call fatherless America. We got all kinds of fucking kids that don't ever see their father, or they're fucking locked up in prison, which is crazy. We got people fucking sitting in prison. I literally in prison, no shit. I've been in prison. I've been in from level fucking 2 to level fucking 5. Okay. So the reality is, I've seen it all. And of that, 15% are dangerous. 15% of them are people that should not be in the world. That means 85% of them are in there on some bullshit. Literally, I can't tell you how many kids I met that got pulled over, were on probation, for maybe marijuana. Because I live in Indiana, and Indiana will put you under a jail for marijuana. Fucking retarded. And anyhow, then they get pulled over, and they're not even under the influence, but they might get pulled over and get searched and have a couple Xanax on their way fucking home, not even under the influence. And then they put these fucking kids in fucking prison for 4 to 6 years. That's what the fuck they're doing. Now, ask yourself this: is it more harmful in your society and detrimental to have some poor fucking kid that's driving home with 5 Xanax in his pocket? You're gonna put him in prison when he's got fucking 2 babies at home, where he's the fucking breadwinner. Which one's causing more harm in your society? The poor fucking dude that's miserable as fuck because we're burdened by all this bullshit and corruption that we're having to deal with. So his dollar doesn't even go anywhere. So he decides to go home and fucking get his goddamn knot on. Or is it more detrimental to put the poor fucking kid, the 24-year-old, in prison for about 4 to 6 years, make his 2 children fatherless, and then fucking, then the woman's off because he was the breadwinner, so now the woman's off onto the next ride. Now she's towing along 2 kids. That guy doesn't give a fuck about the 2 kids. He gives a fuck about the whatever. And so the reality is, which one's more detrimental? Which one's more harmful? I argue that the prison is far more harmful to our society. It's fucking destroying our society. It's destroying our families. It's destroying our young people. And the reality is, it's a perpetuating cycle, because those two little kids that got towed into a fucked up situation with some other stranger that doesn't give a fuck about them, they're the same ones that are going to turn around and be abused. They're going to turn around and be molested. They're going to turn around all this whole fucking host of fucking problems that then, once they become adults, they're struggling with the same fucked up shit, and then they're going to perpetuate the cycle, and now you got two going into fucking prison. That's the shit we're up against, people. And so we have to have a complete ideological shift. We have to, there's a lot to this, because there's a lot of fuckery. There's a lot of fuckery. I'm not going to lie to you. But can it be fixed? Yes. Can it be fixed overnight? No. No, we're going to go through some hard times, but you just have to hold on to hope. It can be fixed, and this is just temporary. We're going to get through this as a nation, and when we come out on the other side, we're going to be stronger, we're going to be better, we're going to be bigger. So with that, I hope you take anything. Oh, I've almost forgot my funny story. So this is why I started with the gay bars. So when I was younger, when I first moved to Minnesota, I stayed with my aunt at her house, and I was like 19 years old or something, and before I went to school. And anyhow, she would drag me along, and she'd always get me gassed up to go with her to places. So she takes me. Now I take it back. This was after I was, because I was 21 at the time. I had just turned 21, I think, and she convinces me to go to this fucking. They would have like these fucking drag queens or whatever come into this fucking this gay bar over the rainbow or whatever, and she convinces me to go with her to see this big old black chick or whatever the fuck she is, that was a fucking Whitney Houston fucking lookalike. And so I'm there. Back in the day, dude, I was prescribed like fucking 4 Xanax bars a day. So anywhere I went, I was shuffling around like a zombie. So I go in there and start drinking, and I had on a white beanie at the time, and I had it was before my oldest son was born yet, and so I was dating his mother at the time, and I'm in this gay bar, this fucking this big old 6'2" fucking Whitney Houston, and I'm sitting there like, I'm semi-comatose. I was 10 times so fucked up, and all of a sudden, like, they would walk around like the tables. I'm not paying them any mind. I'm getting drunk and fucking eating my Xanax and minding my fucking business. And all of a sudden, I feel like this gigantic gorilla hand just go, ugh, and grab and fucking yank my head back. And I'm not even fucking thinking about this. I got this fucking white hat on. And so then I go home to, at the time, I won't say her last name, but Ashley, who's the mother of my 2 oldest children. I go home and, I'm sitting there fucked up. And she's like, what in the fuck's on the back of your hat? And I forgot I had this white hat, this beanie on. I take this shit off, and literally you could see the two fucking, one on this side, one on this side, fucking brown makeup from fucking 2 tits got smashed on the back of my head. She's like, what the fuck is that? I had to tell her it was tranny tit prints. It was fucking tranny tit prints, man. Oh, that's the type of life I've lived, kids. I've been out there, man. One of these days I'll tell you some of the fucking, some of the shit that I've had happen on LSD and fucking mushrooms. I love my LSD and mushrooms. I'm a wild one. I'll eat shit. You give me a fucking 50 hits, I'll eat that shit. We're going out there. We're going to fuck around and find out. I'm gonna be watching the fucking ground breathe and talk to me. You can call me Whispering Wind. Oh, well, with that, you have a blessed day. Hopefully, you don't laugh about that. The tranny tit prints. Oh, y'all have a blessed day. Peace and blessings be upon your homes. May your paths be paved in gold. Hopefully you guys found something here funny, something uplifting. It's not that bad. It's really not. You could wake up with tranny tit prints on your head. Just remember. Oh, you guys have a good one.